Have you heard about the Sustainable Development Goals? The SDGs are some of the big goals that the UN has to implement by 2030, to make humanity better, more equitable, to basically enable us to have better lives. Let's take a few. Number 1 is no poverty. We're not doing so great. Since the pandemic, more people live in poverty than before. And another one that I wanted to mention is zero hunger. I want to link the two of those because the thing is, we actually have enough money, enough resources, enough food to ensure that no one goes hungry. We have enough food to feed 1.5 times the global population. And we have enough money to ensure no one is poor. Multinationals, if we tax them, we would have $500 billion a year to redistribute, enough to ensure that no one lives in poverty. What's happening? A lack of political action, a lack of political leadership. Which leads me to another SDGs I wanted to mention, gender equality. Also not doing great. We are at the UN right now talking about the SDGs that the UN is supposed to implement. There's never been a female United Nations Secretary General. Almost 80 years of dudes. Also because, by the way, female leadership leads to growth in GDP, to less corruption, to less violence, to more peace, to more cross-border collaboration, and so on. I could go on. Last one, climate action. So climate action is supposed to be at the very core of the UN, right? We are all going to die of climate change unless we take radical climate action to ensure that fossil fuels stay in the ground, to ensure that we adapt, that we mitigate the impacts, to ensure that the most vulnerable don't suffer the most. The last climate conference were in oil-producing nations, with oil-producing executives. This again, we have the money, we have the most of the tech, we have the solutions. What we lack once more is political leadership, is political action to ensure that the climate crisis stops now and there, that we stop the worst impact from actually destroying lives, destroying countries. We need to do more. We need to come politically together across the world to ensure that we have a better life, one in prosperity, one with freedoms, one worth living.